Good evening. This is Joey from Two Blokes from Blighty, and before we get into the episode, we're going to hear from Luke at the Howdy Beans podcast. His trailer does say Nerdstalgic, but he's since renamed it. So search Howdy Beans on all good podcast providers.
Howdy Beans, and welcome to my podcast trailer. Now you're probably wondering, who's this weird English fella talking to me about beans? Well, great question. I am the host of the Nerdstalgic podcast, Luke the Human. Nice to meet you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're all good, as always. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the Nerdstalgic podcast? Well, another good question. Let me answer that for you. The Nerdstalgic podcast is a variety podcast talking about all things nerdy and nostalgic, from books to video games to movies to TV shows. Basically, if it is nerdy, and even if it just has the smidge, the hint of nerdism to it, rest assured I will cover it. I'm on all platforms from Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube. All you gotta do is search Nerdstalgic Podcast and you'll find me. So I hope to see you there really soon.
He sounds so classy with that piano behind him.
The fact that he referred to himself as Luke the Human makes me think he might not be human.
It's like that thing we always say, if you go, nothing sexual, it's like, well, it's definitely sexual. Luke the Human, is he a bean?
Definitely not a human.
So just to reiterate, listen to Howdy Beans podcast. Luke is an excellent podcast host. It's all the same stuff he covered before when he was called the Nerdstalgic, but it just had a bit of a rebrand. So check out the Howdy Beans podcast. So we're going to get into the episode with a new intro just for my guests.
Hello, my name is Jacob Jazz. Hello, my name is Jacob Jazz, and I come here to tell you a story. This is the story of a pizza Jew. That's what nobody ever knew, is that he was already dead when he died. He was dead when he died. When he died, surrounded by VHS tapes, and cannibals, was dead when he died. When he died.
Alex, you have no idea how much time it took me to find a version of that I could turn into an MP3. I'm not exaggerating when I think it took me about 2.5 hours. And I thought, I'll save that just for Alex. I sent it to Chris when I did it, and I said, I'm going to save that for Alex. Welcome back to Blokes from Blighty. You don't need lyrics. You are Jacob Jazz. We're all Jacob Jazz when he died. I am joined for the first time ever on Two Blokes from Blighty by a host of the Game Club podcast, Mr. Alex. How are you, Alex?
I was there when the dinosaurs died. How are you?
I was surrounded by VHSs and cannibals when I died. Now, before we get into anything, Alex has been really kind, same as Dan last week, and decided he's going to take the Tim role on Two Blokes and do all the heavy lifting. But before we do that, Alex, who is Jacob Jazz?
Oh, God. So we ended up looking at, what was it, Fear FA98 or something like that on the Steam Next Fest.
Yep. And
this was after a stream that we'd done, so we were all getting a bit tired and a bit delirious, and we just went down a rabbit hole. Is this solo developer? And I'm not entirely certain if he's okay. I think someone needs to do a welfare check on the guy.
Yeah. Well, what you heard there at the introduction was his way of advertising one of his games, and all he does is says his name and then the words "when he died" and very vastly related things like cannibals, VHSs, and dinosaurs. When he died. If you haven't checked it out, just search Jacob Jazz in Steam and look at some of his content, because it's genuinely hilarious.
It's good. It's mind-boggling, but it's great.
Apart from Fear FA98, which the demo isn't great, but I think I still might buy it when it comes out.
It's got potential.
FIFA meets Silent Hill. Sign me up, baby. Well, here you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Alex, let's get into a quiz.
Pub quiz question of the week. Not a jingle, that's a sound effect at best.
We
have there is a fucking jingle, Tim.
What we have there is a jingle, Alex.
What we have is a jingle. So, as Joey said, I've done all the heavy lifting for him. I just want you to chill out, lie back, relax, have a face mask or do your nails, whatever you need to do. I've got 3 different choices for you for a quiz.
Ooh, okay.
And before anyone tells me that any of the answers are wrong, this is all ChatGPT. So if it's wrong, it's ChatGPT that was wrong, not me. You can't sue me.
You're
Joey,
the quizmaster. It doesn't matter. You're always right.
3 topics for you. Take your pick: geography, science, or history.
Let's go for geography.
Okay, thank God that's at the top of the list. So I've asked it to do it in incrementing difficulties. So if you fail on the easy questions, we will have a problem. I'm going to keep asking you questions until you get one wrong. That will become the pub quiz question of the week. And we might tell you the answer at the end if we remember. Joey, let's start easy. What's the capital of France?
Paris.
Correct. Which continent is the Sahara Desert located in?
Africa.
Yep. What's the longest river in the world?
The Nile.
Correct. What is the name of the ocean between Africa and Australia?
The Pacific.
No.
Oh, shit. I don't know. Which one is it?
What sort of areas might sit between Africa and Australia? There's a lot of landmass between them two.
It's the Indian Ocean.
It is the Indian Ocean, yes.
Thank you, Alex.
Mount Everest is part of which mountain range?
The Andes? No, it's not the Andes. Oh, I don't fucking know, Alex. You've lost me.
Come on, you've got to know what other mountain range.
Ben Nevis.
Mount Everest, famously in Scotland.
Why can't I think of any other mountain range? I felt like I was doing so well at the start, coming up with these quite quickly, and now...
This is the last of the easy questions.
Oh, no. I feel like you did a lot of work, a lot of prep for a lot of nothing.
Yeah, it took me ages to type it into a AI.
Nice. I don't know, Alex, is the honest answer.
Oh, well, I'm going to highlight that one in red so I remember that's the one we're going back to, because otherwise we'll be sat here at the end going, what was the question again?
Oh, you're so organised.
I know, it's like having Tim here.
It's a curse.
So, we'll I feel myself turning into a fighting game player.
Ooh. And you also dance to the jingles, which makes you very Tim. We always follow up the pub quiz question with the next thing, regular thing, and that is our day of the week. Now, last week we brought back the favourite jingle of Dan, and that was the Watch Him Wednesday, Watch Him Do. I know, Alex, that you really like the pop punk intro, right?
I do, yeah.
But we couldn't possibly have it say Tim and Joey talking loud. So I've done you something.
Alex and Joey talking loud. Holidays that make them proud. Calendar check every week. Which day holds the peak? Valentine's Days aren't a pivot. Christmas Eve sometimes hits it. New Year's Eve can be found smiling on a Wednesday round. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Time to shake the mood. Celebrate whatever's there. Make the middle week a fair. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Time to shake the mood. Celebrate whatever's there. Make the middle week a fair.
It is Wednesday, my Alex dude.
That was great. That I feel like the normal one's a bit more sort of offspring, high energy pop punk. That was a bit more like skater punk, sort of like a bit Good Charlotte Sum 41-y.
Well, when I see you, I think skater punk. I think that goddamn skater punk. So it was very intentional.
I used to be a skater.
Me too. I didn't ever used to be very good though.
No, God, no, I was awful.
Could you do a kickflip?
No, but I wasn't skateboarding. I was rollerblades.
You couldn't do a kickflip in your rollerblades.
I couldn't do a kickflip in rollerblades, no, weirdly enough.
I don't know any rollerblading trick. So, I mean, there you go. That's the extent of my
Mostly
knowledge.
rail grinding, I think.
Could you grind the rails?
No, but I could crack my knee on a half pipe quite well.
Very good.
Well,
Do you know, I was in Birmingham City Centre the other day, and outside the library there's this massive flat space, and it must have been a meetup because there was like, no exaggeration, about 40 or 50 people all in roller skates, not blades. It wasn't the inline ones. It was the ones like
the old
wheels.
four corners one, yeah.
And they were just having like a disco party in the middle of town.
Like a weird roller derby kind of thing.
I really, really liked it. I was well
That's
up for
pretty
it.
cool.
I thought it brought a bit of culture to the lovely city of Birmingham that I don't live in.
That's otherwise grey and flat.
Hold on.
It's not even that flat. It's the amount of hills in Birmingham, Jesus wept.
It's a lovely city. It gets a bad rep because people think it's funny to rag on it. Well, I say, fuck off.
It's a perfectly fine city. I've got no problems with it.
I often
Not really.
think that about Birmingham, but when I was walking between the pub I was at and the place I parked my car the other night, I thought, I really like the city of Birmingham. I think it's a really nice city. No, don't
Yeah,
agree?
it's no, I do. Was it the last time I was there, or the time before? It might have been the time before. I went with Tim and Payne. It was the first time I met Payne, and we'd gone to see Randy Feltface, and we weren't far. The hotel and the theatre wasn't far apart, but we were walking back, and it was like 11 o'clock at night, and on a weekend, and it didn't feel dangerous at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's certain bits of Manchester where if you walk through there at 11 o'clock at night, you need to wear a Kevlar vest and have a knife.
I've never been I've been on nights out in Manchester, but I've always been a bit too pissed to take in my surroundings. But I think Manchester's a nice city too. I was really enjoying my walk between the pub and the car park because there was this roller derby. There was a dude playing like really cool hip hop violin thing, and then I walked past someone who was asking for money, playing a harmonica, playing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas," and that was recorded on the 5th of March. There's also one busker that's right outside my office, and all he can play is the Pink Panther theme song, and he just plays it on loop all the time.
Don't talk to me about buskers. When I used to work in the city centre in a retail shop, it was there was a busker who was always outside our shop, and all he did was beatboxing, but he was awful to the point that the council multiple times had to tell him he's not allowed to busk anymore. I think he had because you have to have a license for busking, and I think he had it revoked because it was just there was that many complaints coming in about him.
Yeah, I knew we'd met before.
Yeah, I was the one throwing things at you.
Right, Alex, let's get on to our days. So you've got a couple of days here. I don't know how many of them are that good. I might make one up if you don't like any of them. So the first one is National Girl Scout Day.
No.
No. Alex took a sip of his drink and shook his head. No.
No.
National Baked Scallops Day.
I
baked
hate
scallops?
seafood. Hate seafood.
Well, let's move off of that one. National Working Mums Day.
I mean, you've got to give credit to them, haven't you? It's hard work looking after a kid and working at the same time.
Yep. National Skin Barrier Day.
As in, you're just the barrier of your skin.
As in, like, creams and moisturizers to celebrate those things as a protective barrier. Would it surprise you if this was set up by a skin cream company this year?
It would not surprise me, and I'll be honest with you, I'm in the camp of most skincare products are snake oil.
Okay, cool. I've got two more, but one of them's so I'm going to do them both. National Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day.
Was that set up by a registered dietitian by any chance?
I imagine so. And then the last one is Plant a Flower Day.
We do like flowers. We do like flowers. Now you've given me a choice because, you know, the nice person in me wants to say, let's give it to the working mums, but also flower. Actually, no, screw flowers. They attract bees, and I'm scared of bees.
Hold on, before you go any further, you could take the mystery third option and flip the coin of destiny. And if it lands on heads, I'll give you a good day that I've just made up. And if it lands on tails, you can go on a bad day. But you won't have a choice on that one.
I have to take the option.
Yeah.
That you give me. Oh, yeah. Go on then. Why not?
Okay. Well, there is no coin. It's a metaphorical coin in your brain. This is March the 12th is National Shrimps Day.
Yeah. We love shrimps. Don't eat them though.
Happy with the outcome?
That'll do me, yeah.
Why do we like shrimps, Alex?
Because that's my name.
Alex's surname is Shrimpy Shrimp.
It is, yeah. I got it legally changed.
Good. Changed from what? Shrimperson to Shrimpy.
Yeah, no, Shrimpson's just a bit too long. It's too many S's. It's terrible for people with lisps.
It is. Could you do it with a lisp for me to demonstrate? Offend some people. Very good, very good. Alex, you have done more heavy lifting. Do you want to do some? Are you still lisping? Did I ever tell you there was a episode of this podcast when Slade was with us, and he had some kind of voice modulation thing on his microphone to block out some of like the quieter moments, so we couldn't hear like his PC humming in the background or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell happened, but I messaged him afterwards because when I was editing, I was like, does he have a lisp? And he was like, no. And I was like, I didn't think he did, but listen to this entire audio track. And the modulation on his microphone had given him a lisp.
That's weird.
It's so weird.
How does that even happen? Because, like, obviously that modulation will have just been a noise gate reduction.
Exactly.
How does that create how does that change your S's to THs?
I don't know. I have no idea. But it just when he was saying like podcast, it would come up podcast. It was weird. So strange. Anyway, do you want to do history or would you like to do jokes?
Let's do history.
Let's do history. All right, let's jump in.
Oh, history.
Oh, history.
Oh, history. Joey,
Alex,
have you ever heard of John Malcolm Thorpe Fleming Churchill?
No, I haven't.
Good. Excellent.
What a name.
I think he needs to change it to shrimp as well because that's just too much.
Well,
so, old Johnny Boy here was born September 16th, 1906 in Colombo, British Ceylon, which is now Sri Lanka.
Cool. I think it's a better name.
Apparently, it's not always been Sri Lanka. But he grew up in England and he attended the King William's College and later graduated from the Royal Military Academy in Sandhurst.
Well, did we get a year of this, by the way?
So he was born in 1906.
Okay.
There's a timeline. He was commissioned to the Manchester Regiment in 1926 and served in British Burma before leaving the army in 1936.
Okay.
He had a couple of hobbies. He was a professional bagpiper. He was a newspaper editor. He was a male model, and he competed in World Archery Championships.
Sounds like a pretty cool dude.
Joey. 1939 in Europe.
Yeah, was a bit around.
Was an event, shall we say?
Yeah.
It was the kickoff of World War II. Now, old John here re-enlisted to support the British Army in World War II.
Okay.
He had a very unique fighting style. He would go into battle with a longbow, a bagpipe.
What, in World War II?
In World War II, so when everyone else was using muskets and M4 grenades, this man was there with a longbow, bagpipes, and a Scottish broadsword. earning him the nickname Mad Jack Churchill. Don't know where Jack came into it.
That guy who's going to die first.
So he's had an eventful history during World War II. I'm gonna this stupid thing hasn't put it all in chronological order, so I'm gonna have to read a little bit. But first off, let's go to 1940, the Battle of France. During the retreat, yeah, really, yeah, just let the Germans have it. During the retreat from France in 1940. Churchill and his unit ambushed a German patrol near L'Épinette. L'Épinette?
You can do
Some French place. Instead of using a rifle to start the firefight, Churchill shot a German shoulder with his longbow, making it the last recorded longbow kill in military history.
That's really cool, but doesn't bode very well for the rest of the story.
He then, you'll be surprised. He then led his men in a counterattack before returning to Dunkirk. The next year we're going to have a little look at with John. So far, we're liking his style. Longbow kill, last longbow kill ever. Great. The raid in Norway, 1941.
Okay.
Churchill led a, not to be mixed up with Winston. Anytime I mention Churchill, it's Mad Jack.
Okay.
Churchill led a British commando raid on a German position in Vagsøy, Norway. Before the assault, he stood in front of his unit, playing the March of the Cameron Men on his bagpipe to rally the men. As soon as the attack started, he threw a grenade and charged in, wielding only his Scottish broadsword.
Okay, I like it.
Now, this sounds like it shouldn't have been a successful raid. But his unit successfully captured the town. the man's mental. He didn't do anything in 1942, but 1943 we go to the Battle of Salerno.
Okay.
Churchill led the number 2 commando unit in the Italian campaign, landing in Salerno and pushing inland. Armed only with his broadsword, bagpipes, and a revolver, he led his men into the battle with his sword drawn. His fearlessness inspired the troops, and they managed to capture the town from the Germans. So this is now 3 successful towns that he has taken with his unit with a broadsword.
Can you imagine being in the war and you're already terrified, and they go, "All right, Alex, I know you're scared, but you're right. The guy leading you runs in playing a bagpipe." You'd be like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Imagine being on the German side though, just like, Hans, what is that man do? Like, it's almost like a surprise tactic. It's like they'll never expect us to use a longsword or a broadsword. Sorry,
maybe the Germans are there like, "Oh, but we have no problem with the Scottish," and that's why they get away with it.
Oh, God. Right. 1944 was a busy year for him. We've got 2 events happening here. So first was the raid on Yugoslavia. Churchill and his commandos were sent to support Yugoslavian partisans fighting the Nazis. At Brack Island, he personally, so just Churchill himself, captured 42 German soldiers using just his sword.
Jesus.
Now, unfortunately, we do get a bit of a loss here. Soon after he captured those 42 soldiers, his unit was overwhelmed and Churchill was knocked unconscious by a grenade.
Not killed, but just knocked unconscious.
Unconscious, yeah. A grenade that would kill anyone else. And then later in 1944, after being captured in Yugoslavia, Churchill was sent to Sachsenhausen. Oh my God. Sachsenhausen concentration camp. Determined to escape, he crawled under the camp's fence and walked 150 miles towards the Baltic coast before being recaptured. The man got 150 miles before he was captured. He was then transferred to Troil, where German guards eventually abandoned him, allowing him to walk to freedom and rejoin the Allied forces. And then, end of the war. He was disappointed that it was over because he was obviously having fun. Churchill was later sent to Burma in preparation for the fight against Japan. When he heard about the atomic bomb ending the war, he was furious, saying, "If it wasn't for those damn Yanks, we could have kept the war going another 10 years."
Look, yeah.
It's not in this, but I seem to remember reading something about he'd taken numerous body shots. He'd been shot multiple times. Yeah, he'd been shot multiple times. He got knocked out by a grenade. And the man was still, after the World War II ended, he decided to go off to Burma and cause some trouble there.
Wow. I know.
The man's my hero.
Is he a hero? Is he a bit of a nutcase?
He's a bit of a nutcase, but he actually lived until 1996.
Bloody
So
hell.
he made it to 90, despite all of that.
Wow.
And that is the story of Mad Jack Churchill.
You know, I'm really impressed. That was really good. Weird history. Well done, Alex.
I had to
Mad Jack Churchill.
It was a TikTok. I'd heard of it in the past, but I saw a TikTok and it was like the story of Mad Jack Churchill, and it was all these little bits. I was like, oh, I was straight on my phone. Tim, have you done Mad Jack Churchill yet? And he was like, no. I was like, cool, don't.
Wow, that was very cool. And I love that you learned it from TikTok.
Well, yeah.
Have you seen the thing where you can turn PDFs into brain rot TikTok online?
Yeah.
Where it's like the Minecraft thing and it comes up one word at a time and it's reading it to you. You can turn like very serious PDFs into that, so you can learn it better if you work.
I mean, look, if it gets the younger generations learning stuff, then fair enough. But I don't think it's for me.
Not fair enough. It's brain rot. It's
ridiculous.
Speaking of brain rot, let's tell each other jokes till one of us laughs.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
Thanks, Alex. So this is the joke of the week section where Alex and I tell each other bloody hilarious jokes until one of us cracks and laughs. Once one of us laughs, that section is done, and that joke is deemed the joke of the week. Alex, how many jokes have you got?
I've got 11.
Well, I have 10, so you should start.
Oh, I should. I told my partner she should embrace her mistakes. She gave me a hug.
Oh, that one hit home.
Sad, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just got my doctor's test results today, and I'm really upset by the outcome. Turns out I'm not going to be a doctor.
Oh, Joey, I know you were really looking forward to that as well.
I was, yeah.
I promise there's not a theme with these jokes, but my partner told me to stop being an idiot and just be myself. I told her to make up her mind.
Oh,
I know.
Another one that's close to home.
Yeah.
As I get older, I remember the people I lost along the way. Turns out I'm a really shit tour guide.
There's, you lost them all in that roller derby in Birmingham.
It did, yeah.
You were meant to be doing a tour of Newcastle.
The guy doing a harmonica rendition of "I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day."
It distracted you. I get it. I used to be able to play piano by ear, but now I use my hands.
Seems like the logical way to play it. I was digging in the garden and I found a chest full of gold. I ran straight to tell my wife about it, and then I remembered why I was digging in the garden.
Oh,
it's dark.
You don't bury them at home. You bury them in the woods. Joey, what's orange and sounds like a parrot?
A carrot.
It is, yeah.
Do you know what? An ex-girlfriend of mine's nephew told me that. I don't remember why it stuck with me. Alex, you should never challenge death to a pillow fight unless you're prepared for the repercussions.
He's got good cushions. I bet he's got memory foam.
I bet he does too. That would hurt in a pillow fight as well.
It really would. It'd be like getting hit with a brick. Can a kangaroo jump higher than a house?
Okay.
Of course it can, Joey. A house can't jump.
Very good. Very, very good. A man walks into an enchanted forest, tries to cut down the talking tree. You can't cut me down, the tree exclaims. I'm a talking tree. The man responds, right now you may be a talking tree, but you will die a log.
That's good. I like that one. It's a fun bit of wordplay, that. Two men are robbing a liquor store. One grabs a bottle and says, is this whiskey? The other turns around and says, yes, but not as whiskey as robbing a bank.
Good. That would be if Jonathan Ross robbed a liquor store. I have a joke here, but I think it might win, so I'm going to save it. Is that risky strategy?
No, go for it.
Okay. I'll save it. I'll come back to it. Where did John go after getting lost in the minefield?
I don't know.
Fucking everywhere.
Well, that's why they put the warning signs on there.
It is, yeah.
They say when you have sex, Joey, that you burn off as many calories as you do running 8 miles. But who the hell is running 8 miles in 30 seconds?
I don't get where the joke is there.
That's a good time.
The most corrupt CEOs are those who run pretzel companies. They're always so twisted.
Yeah.
Like pretzels with it.
We like pretzels. In a similar vein, Joey, why did the baker have brown hands?
Don't know. Why did the baker have
He
brown
needed
hands?
a poo.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's. I wouldn't buy bread from him.
No, I wouldn't either, no.
What's the difference between a Lamborghini and a dead body?
Go on.
I don't have a Lamborghini in my garage.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's under the body.
Mm.
Under? Over. Do you know what the secret is to having a smoking hot body as a senior?
I don't.
Cremation.
Wow. Quite sad, really.
Yeah.
Here's the joke, Alex.
Oh, no.
When does a
I thought you were
dad...
saving it for last.
This is my last one.
Is it? Oh, I've got 2 more. Go on.
When does a joke become a dad joke?
Go on.
When it leaves and never comes back.
Oh, that hits too close to home.
No,
Joey.
not worth a laugh.
No. It just
painful.
makes me sad. Makes me sad more than anything. I don't know where we've gone wrong here, but I've got 2 more for you.
Okay.
What do you call a swimming terrorist?
Swimming terror. I don't know.
A bath bomb.
That's good because it's dumber than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Okay.
The last one. There's a woman lying on the beach with no arms and no legs, crying. A man runs past her and asks, "What's wrong?" She says, "I've never been hugged by a man." So the man gives her a hug. She's all happy and he carries on his way. The next day, the man is out for a run and sees the same woman crying again. He asks, "What's wrong?" And she says, "I've never been kissed by a man." So he gives her a nice kiss and she's all happy again. Then the third day, he's running along and she's crying again. He asks, "What's wrong?" And she says, "I've never been fucked by a man." So he picks her up and throws her in the ocean.
I'm a bit annoyed that got me, really. Let's play the fucking jingle.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
Do you know why I'm annoyed by that joke winning?
Go on.
Because it was the description of a nice kiss. I don't know what it was about that, but you just went, a nice kiss. And it really just made me chuckle.
But I remembered you saying that you like really long jokes with snappy punchlines.
I do. I really
So
do.
that was my ace in the hole. That one. That was my
Mm.
bucket joke.
It won. Well done. Well done, sir. Alex, guess who I saw yesterday?
Who?
Tim.
Did you?
In the flesh.
Why?
The man is back from Japan.
He is.
He is. He's got stories to tell. He said he's documented his whole journey.
Of course he has. He's probably done it on fucking Notion.
Maybe, but he's taken notes of every single day there. So next week, I think we're expecting a bumper to Blokes from Blighty with loads of stories about Japan, which is good fun. He did bring me a couple of packs of Pokemon cards.
Of course.
How cool is that one? That's the best one I got.
That's very cool looking. I don't know what it is, but
and it's shiny as well. Ooh.
Ooh,
I
shiny.
showed it on stream last night, and I thought it was one Pokemon, and Frosty told me I was wrong. Frosty being the Pokemon expert that we need to have him.
We needed to hire someone that knew more about Pokemon than Tim.
He's just so bloody expensive. He's not. he's incredibly ludicrously generous actually on Twitch. So
he is.
Yeah. Stop doing that, Frosty. But yeah, I saw Tim. It was good fun. We went to 2 different pubs. One for food, one for a good time. That makes it sound like I had sex with him. I didn't have sex with him.
It does a little bit.
But neither of us were drinking, so I wasn't going to say one for a booze. But we went to one for food and then one for a beer garden. And the one for the beer garden had a cheesecake van outside.
Ooh.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know how I don't know how much I trust it.
Okay. Both Tim and I got cheesecakes. Tim didn't want one, but he did. Have you played the game What Are the Odds?
It rings a bell.
So I said to him, do you want a cheesecake? And he said no. And I said, what are the odds of you getting a cheesecake? And he said 1 in 10. So the point there is we go 3, 2, 1, and we say a number between 1 and 10. And if it's the same number, he has to do the thing.
Right, okay.
So I said, what are the odds? 1 in 10. What, 3, 2, 1? And we both said 6. So he went and bought a cheesecake, but he didn't want it. So he travelled an hour and a half in the car with a fucking cheesecake he didn't want. But my cheesecake was excellent. It was inside of an Easter egg. So they cut the top off of an Easter egg, filled the bastard with cheesecake. Ooh, it was naughty.
Oh, very cool. Very sweet.
They're like obnoxiously sweet. It was what I had for my dinner yesterday. How romantic is that?
So you were sat there with your brother in a beer garden eating an Easter egg cheesecake with no alcohol.
Well, no, he left. Drove home with his cheesecake in a Tupperware container, and we got home and watched The Apprentice and ate cheesecake.
It's not the worst way to spend an evening, is it?
Not the worst way to spend a Saturday. Alex, you've recently taken up a new hobby, and I want to hear more about it.
Yeah, so I've recently acquired a record player. My partner very lovingly has bought me it for my birthday, gave me it about 3 weeks early because there was a record fair in Manchester that I needed to go to, apparently. This is partly Dan's fault, lovely Dan from Casting Views, who we all know and love on this podcast. Basically, last year, maybe the year before, I can't remember now, for my birthday, Rachel got me a record of The Midnight, who is one of my favourite bands. Mm-hmm. It was the live record from the tour that I saw them on. It's all very, very shiny. And that's been up in a frame. It's been up in a frame on the wall for ages. And every time I look at it, I've said to myself, oh, I'll get myself a record player one day. It's a nice blue colour.
Oh, so that clunking you could hear then on Alex's mic was just him getting the record out to show me what a cool blue it is. It's like, dare one say, midnight blue.
Ooh. But so, and every time I've looked at that, I've thought, oh, I'll get myself a record player one day. And I know that Dan's big into his records, so I was asking him at one point, and he was like, this is the one I've got, and it was Let's just say a bit rich for my blood. I have a thing about not spending money on myself on frivolous things. And so I was like, all right, okay. And then I've been umming and ahhing, and I think I've been umming and ahhing about it for about a year now. And my partner's just got sick of me, so she went and bought me one. I now have 12 records.
Nice. How long ago did you get the record player? About 2 or 3 weeks ago.
2 or 3 weeks ago, yeah.
Okay, the one you've got in your hands now, I want to hear about this because that is cool as hell.
So I got this off of, excuse me one sec.
Oh, he's coughing.
Yeah. I got it off of a website Dan showed me called Sound of Vinyl. So it is the Sky, Earth and All Between by the Architects. It's their new album. It came with a signed print.
Oh, so cool.
And it is I think it's the one that was exclusive to Sound of Vinyl, so it's a nice red colour. Yeah.
That's very cool. Architects are my 3-year-old son's favourite band. I think I've told you. Whenever we get in the car and I say, do you want to play the radio? He goes, yeah, Architects. So we have a mixture between Architects and then like children's songs on the go.
Yes, The Wheels on the Bus followed by Seeing Red.
Well, it's difficult because I don't really want him hearing loads of swearing. So I have to sing along and shout the word flip or God when he says fuck. And he really says it quite a lot, doesn't he?
He does a little bit, yeah. But luckily, because a lot of it's in sort of death growl vocals, it might be a bit harder for your son to understand, which is good.
My favourite one is when he does, we're just a bunch of fucking animals. And I have to go, we're just a bunch of flipping animals. Jack likes that. He did make me laugh the other day when he was in his room, and his room overlooks the garden. And we get quite a few birds here, and a pigeon flew over. And Jack looked up, pointed at it, and he went, Daddy, flipping heck, it's an eagle. I don't know where it's come from. And then I was streaming yesterday with the only Josh from Talking Smack. We played Split Fiction, which, Alex, by the way, if you've not played or seen Split Fiction, it was so fun. It was such a blast. But I was telling Josh that Jack, his nursery, are learning all about allergies at the moment. And my wife was talking to him and said, what allergies do you think there are? And he goes, eggs. Some people can't eat eggs. And she went, yeah, that's good. Anything else? And he sat there and pondered for a bit and looked directly into my wife's eyes and went, babies. You can't eat babies.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Oh.
I thought you'd enjoy that. Some people can't. Most people shouldn't. No one should eat babies. That is the sole view of the Game Club podcast. You know when you say something in an episode that you never thought you'd need to say.
Yeah.
I also
every day.
I have one more question for you, Alex. It's the last thing I have for you before we remember to do the pub quiz question. I was flicking through TikTok the other day.
Yeah.
And there was this podcast, and I get quite a lot of podcasts because I like The Basement Yard is really funny. And I like Bad Friends are really funny as well. I get a lot of their clips and things like that pop up quite a lot. And they said, when you're in the shower and you're washing your hair,
mm-hmm.
do you face the shower head or do you face away from the shower head?
I have to think about it now. I've got quite long hair, so I kind of turn around a lot to get both sides. But I don't, because obviously, like, if I'm facing the shower, I'm getting sort of the front side, and then if I turn away from it, I can get the back. But I think that's just because of my length of hair.
I think it's really weird that people face the shower. I'm going to get pelters in this. It's like that old thing about people saying, do you sit down or stand up when you wipe your ass after having a poo?
I do a handstand.
Do you?
Yeah.
I know someone who used to, and I know they used to do it and they don't do it anymore because they got shamed so much off the back of this question. What they would do is stand up, turn around, face the loo, and then wipe.
Why?
Well, that's the problem. Is everyone's reaction is of utter disbelief. So he has changed now. I'm not sure what he does, but he doesn't turn around. I think he's a stander.
That's the key takeaway, yeah.
But I think it's mental that people face the shower because you just get it all running down your face.
I like that, though.
What, all the soap and suds running down your face?
Well,
Some
you'd
shampoo.
you kind of put your hand on your forehead and push it all back, but
Why don't you just do it backwards? Like you're getting it, you're looking up, you go whoosh. That's what I do.
because I don't want to have to stand there with my neck at a 90-degree angle and get all my hair.
Just look up, Alex. It's okay. It's okay.
I can't. I'm scared.
But I spoke to Tim about it, and he faces the shower, and I think it's really strange. Let us know in the Discord if you've managed to get this far through a conversation of which way you face in the shower. Which way do you face in the shower? I think it's mental that people face the shower itself. I'm all for a refreshing wash of the face. Do it when you're washing your face, not when you're washing your hair.
But think about it when you're watching TV, though, when someone's having a shower, they're almost always facing it.
But excuse me, I think that's for
and then someone comes behind and stabs them.
I think that they do that because it's better framing for the shot. It's also much easier to hide someone's bits when they're facing the shower.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the freak here. I don't like it. But I think I judge people for it as well. Back on Split Fiction, very fun. I don't know if you've seen anything about it. It's like It Takes Two, where you don't spoiler warning for It Takes Two, where you don't brutally mutilate a stuffed toy elephant.
Yeah, it's the same developer, isn't it? But it's you're split between a sort of RPG Baldur's Gate kind of realm and a more sci-fi dystopian cyberpunky kind of thing.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the trailer. I think it was the Game Awards or something, where the developer, whatever his name is, who might be one of the most charismatic game developers I've ever seen.
Yeah, Jacob Jazz.
Jacob Jazz. I think his name is something similar to Jacob. I think it's Yosef something.
Yosef Jazz, yeah.
Yosef Jazz, but he was out revealing his new game, and I remember watching it thinking, the game looks really good, but by God, he's an incredible salesman.
Well, maybe that's why you thought the game looked good.
Maybe.
Well, Alex, I just want to say thank you for stopping by before you do your pub quiz question, because we are going to fucking remember it. Thank you very much. I hope I haven't put you off coming on Two Blokes in the future. You've been a fantastic step in for Tim.
Do me best.
Well, you do very well. You're always a pleasure to speak to, so thank you very much. I was going to ask if there's anything you want to plug, but I'd be very surprised if it wasn't Game Club Pod.
Podpack Collective. Screw the Game Club Pod. Those guys are losers. But yeah, Podpack Collective. Go check them out. There's loads of really good podcasts on there. And there's also the Game Club Pod. But yeah.
You can't do that, though, because BAP are on ours and they're really good.
Oh, shit, yeah. BAP really need to sort of
break away.
They need to break away from us and start their own podcast because we're bringing them down.
Please don't do that, Pete and Sky. We really like having you. And it's the only place that I actually partake in any anime talk because I don't understand it, but you guys are fun to listen to.
You in that clip that Josh showed us of you two playing Split Fiction, you've never seen Akira.
No.
I think you'd like Akira. It's very sort of psychological body horror kind of thing.
Do you know the only anime that I think I've really gotten on board with? I mean, there was obviously... I used to like Dragon Ball Z when I was growing up, but it was on Cartoon Network, so I don't know if it was the more... one.
Well, yeah, it's like the same deal with like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And all that.
Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! I also enjoyed it, and Beyblade. Those kind of ones that were on Cartoon Network. But the only
one the cartoon animes of the 90s, yeah.
Exactly. But I really got into Attack on Titan, and I realised it's because it was absolutely mental and really gory. I really
Well,
like.
I think you might like Akira.
Really,
Yeah,
is it like Attack on Titan with motorbike?
exactly like Attack on Titan or motorbikes. No, but it's
Mm.
but I think it's from like I think it's either the late 80s or the early 90s.
In that case, I don't want to know because it's not Yu-Gi-Oh.
Ah,
Is
okay,
there
fair
is there
enough.
is there a blue eyes white dragon in it?
No, but there's a red motorbike.
Red motorbike eyes, fish,
Black tires, red bike. Yeah.
black tires. Robot, very nice. Right. Well, Alex, let's do your pub quiz question of the week, and then let's get the fudge out of here.
So the easy geography question that tripped you up was Mount Everest is part of which mountain range, Joey?
No idea.
The Himalayas.
The Himalayas.
It's
Should have known
not
that.
Ben Nevis.
Not Ben Nevis. I should have known that. Mainly because of the Himalayan Yeti that's in Monsters Inc. Who makes
Yep.
some snowballs. So that was the last one on the easy. What was the first one on the intermediate?
So the next category is medium. Which country has the most natural lakes?
Canada.
Yep.
Nice.
Are we just going to go? We'll go.
Yeah.
through
Let's do it until I get horribly wrong again.
What's the smallest country in the world?
The Vatican City.
Yep. What is the only US state that is made up entirely of islands?
Hawaii.
Yep. The Great Barrier Reef is off the coast of which country?
It's Australia, mate.
Oh, here's one that always trips people up. What is the capital city of Canada?
Well, we had this the other week, and I got it horribly wrong. It's Ottawa.
It is Ottawa. Right, we're going on to the hard.
The medium was much easier than the Everest.
It really was. It really was, wasn't it? Thanks, ChatGPT. Which two countries share the longest international border?
It'll be Russia and China.
It's not.
They're not.
No.
Ooh. Oh, America and Canada.
Yep. What's the deepest ocean trench in the world?
I know this one. The something trench, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, that's my answer. The something trench.
It's the Mariana Trench.
Well, that's what I said. The something trench.
Yeah. Here's one you'll definitely not get. What's the capital of Mongolia?
Ottawa.
It's Ulaanbaatar.
Yeah, that was my next guess, but you answered it too quickly.
Oh. Doesn't sound like it's the right. Which desert is the driest non-polar desert in the world?
Non-polar.
I don't think that's. Yeah, I thought it was that.
Alex is doing fact checking as we go.
Yeah, this one's telling me that it's the Atacama Desert.
Never even heard of it. That's why it's
Never
so
even
hard,
heard of it.
because it's wrong.
Lake Baikal is in which country?
I don't like these questions. I don't know what country is Lake Baikal in.
Russia.
Okay.
Oh, the very hard questions. Here we go. Least populated country in the world.
Vatican City.
Yeah. Which African country has the most bordering countries?
Ooh, that's a good question. Chad?
No.
The Central African Republic?
That might be another name for it. It's the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
No, that's different to the Central. I was just trying to think of ones that are literally bang in the middle of Africa.
Like proper landlocked, yeah.
Yeah.
What is the only country with a non-quadrilateral flag?
Switzerland? Oh no, of course.
No.
Quadrilateral. Fucking. I have no idea. Bhutan.
Nepal.
Oh, what's Nepal?
Oh yeah, it's the two triangles.
Oh, okay.
Uh, what's the southernmost capital city of the world?
Southernmost. I don't know.
This is another one that I don't trust, but apparently it's Wellington in New Zealand.
Really?
But because I thought Australia was further south than New Zealand.
Yeah.
Oh no, New Zealand is further south.
Is it because
I'll be
our warped minds of a globe projected on a flat surface?
Yeah. Last question on the geography.
Okay.
What is the name of the sea that fucking hell? What is the name of the sea that separates Saudi Arabia and Africa?
I know this. It's the something Gulf, I think. I don't know.
It's the Red Sea.
Red Sea. Actually, that came up in another quiz.
I was going to say, I'm sure that came up a couple of weeks ago.
I think it did. Maybe I didn't retain any information. Anyway, Alex, we've gone on.
That's what we're doing.
So, Alex, is there anything you want to say to the wonderful listener that stayed this long?
Take that, you bastard.
Take that, you sexy bitch. We'll see you in a week's time. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, my name is Jacob Jazz. Hello, my name is Jacob Jazz, and I come here to tell you a story. This is the story of a pizza dude. That's what nobody ever knew, is that he was already dead when he died. He was dead when he died. When he died, surrounded by VHS tapes, and cannibals was dead when he died.